Welcome in, Dynasty fam. So today we're going to be taking a deep dive on the waiver wire for NFL Week 6. So getting straight into it, guys, going to be starting with guys that are above 50% rostered, so in that 50 to 60 range that should be rostered in your Dynasty leagues. And then we'll go a little deeper dive for all those guys that are below 50%. So guaranteed somebody will be on your waiver wire. So going to be starting off with the guys that are about 50 to 60% rostered, that these are guys that should be picked up if they are on your waiver wire. So the number one guy, so the guys with asterisks on there are my favorite players to be picking up. So we have D'Onta Foreman, guys, right now. Roshan had a concussion, left the game, did not return, may not be back this following week. And then you have, guys, Khalil Herbert with a high ankle sprain. It said that he's going to miss multiple weeks. So D'Onta Foreman pretty much was a healthy scratch. So he should be fresh, guys, and it was really the next man up, all that's left right now in that Bears backfield. So D'Onta Foreman, if he's out there, definitely grab him for this coming week. Then you have, guys, Keontae Ingram. He was also banged up, guys. He's been having some neck issues. He did not suit out. So we'll talk about another running back for the Arizona Cardinals on the next slide. But for now, guys, James Conner said to miss some time with a knee injury. He left in the game and did not return. So Keontae Ingram was the RB2 before he got hurt. So we'll see going in if Keontae Ingram is back, but somebody that you could definitely stash if Conner's going to be out for the next couple weeks. Then you have Isaiah Spiller, guys. Really just because Kelly just flat out stunk. He has not done anything with his opportunities. So I'm just taking a shot on the next guy, guys. If something were to happen, Eckler may be back. But if he were to get injured, guys, maybe Isaiah Spiller may be the guy to handcuff other than Joshua Kelly. Because we've already seen Joshua Kelly go out there, did not do much with his opportunities. And you have Spiller. He got a couple targets, got a couple carries this last week. So someone to monitor, definitely coming off a bye if he's on your waiver wire, someone that you could stash and see what happens. And maybe if Eckler's out, maybe we see some more opportunity for Spiller. Then you have Eric Gray, guys. He got more touches, got one more carry than Matt Breida. So someone that you could definitely stash if Barkley's going to be out a couple of more weeks. Then you have Ronnie Rivers, guys, a guy for Kyron. They've talked about needing some help. They gave Ronnie Rivers some work last week, not so much this week. Didn't get any work really this week. But last week he got 9 carries for 47 yards and 2 receptions. So really just a handcuff to Kyron, guys. He's a little bit smaller, kind of similar build to Kyron. So if something were to happen to Kyron, I definitely would like Zach Evans over Ronnie Rivers, but Zach Evans is a higher roster percentage in about the 80s. But Ronnie Rivers, if you want to take a shot on the backfield, they seem to like him. They've given him some opportunities already. He's familiar with the system, so definitely a decent stash for you in your dynasty leagues. Then another one of my favorites, guys, other than D'Onta Foreman, is Pierre Strong. So he's already showed, guys, he's got some speed. He showed some flashes, right? You have Hunt is a little bit of an older running back, missed some training camp, and he didn't look good, guys. Hunt didn't look good game one. Ford hasn't looked good on the ground as well, guys. Ford last week or in week 3 was 18 yards rushing. Then in week 4, he went for 26 yards on the ground. Then you had Hunt was only 5 rushes for 12 yards, but Pierre Strong, guys, went 5 for 49 in that week 4. They're coming off a bye. Someone that I think that you could definitely add and see what happens. I think he seems to have a little bit more juice than Kareem Hunt. And you never know, guys, if they like what he's doing on the ground. And then he is a good pass catcher as well. So I think he has some opportunity to grow in that Browns offense, especially, guys, if they don't have Deshaun Watson. We'll see what happens going forward. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So now for the wide receivers, guys, favorite wide receiver to add is Trey Palmer. I forgot the asterisks. We talked about him last week, guys, but they were on bye. Also worth noting, guys, the bye week players, the bye weeks are on the bottom of the screen there. You have Packers and Steelers heading into the bye for next week. But Trey Palmer, guys, pretty much the next man up for Mike Evans. He ran the second most routes in week 4 behind Godwin. He's already got 2 TDs, man. Also, he's got only off of 9 targets. So you know that they use him in the red zone. He is a good contested catch guy. That he definitely fights for the ball, goes up for them 50-50 balls. Definitely like Trey Palmer. He's a good add if he's on your waiver wire right now. We'll see what happens. We'll monitor the Evans situation, but hamstrings are always tricky, guys. We'll see if they rush him back. It's still possible that he could re-injure it. So even if he were to come back, Evans were to come back, I don't mind stashing Palmer for a week or two and see what happens. Then you have Devontae Parker, guys, real quickly before we go into the next slide with the lower roster players. Devontae Parker pretty much just going to have an increase in opportunity. He had a good week 1. He hasn't done much since then, but you have Juju's banged up, going to be out possibly, and then Demario Douglas is also out. So Parker may have some increased opportunity for this next coming week. Then you have for the QB guys, pretty much the only person, DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. He did flat out stunk, guys. He got to start this past week, or actually in week 4, not in week 5. They were on bye, but in week 4 he got to start. Did not do much, but it looks like he may get the start again. They haven't said if Deshaun Watson's going to be back, so give him another shot. He looked decent in preseason. Let's see what he could do maybe if he's the starter this week. He has a good week, right? Dobbs started off horrible too his first week, then he bounced back. We'll see DTR worth stashing if he's on your waiver wire. See what happens this next week. Aiden O'Connell, someone you could stash just because Jimmy G's been a little banged up. If you want to stash him, I would prefer DTR because he has the better chance of playing. Then at the tight end position, guys, you have Jelani Woods, only 59% rostered, coming off of the IR soon, guys. So we liked him right before just as a tight end flyer, deeper league stash. Right now, you're going to have the upgrade at QB for a few weeks. A-Rich is going to be out with a grade 3 shoulder sprain. You have Minshew Mania now going on. So should be an increase as far as the passing yardage and the passing offense. So Jelani Woods, someone that you could stash if you have no one in your IR. You can add him, put him in your IR, and add someone else. So now going in, guys, before we get into the deeper waiver wire dive, we're going to be talking about, guys, we have a paid partnership right now with Thrive Fantasy. We're excited about that. So if you want to support the channel, guys, obviously liking, subscribing, commenting definitely helps us out. We much appreciated if you could do that for us. And if you like fantasy sports betting, or if you're into props betting, you can check out Thrive Fantasy, guys, and you could use our promo code DynastyFam. You get a 100% deposit match anywhere from $25 up to $250. And we'll be giving you guys our favorite bets probably every week. You get usually, if you were to sign up, guys, you get a free prop bet. The last week's one was CeeDee Lamb for half receiving yards. And our favorite prop for the week was Devon Achane for 56, over 56 and a half rushing yards, which hit. So again, if you want to support us, guys, through Thrive Fantasy, you can definitely do that by using our promo code DynastyFan. So now heading into getting the deep dive, guys, below 50% rostered. So for the number one, guys, on the RB position, we have Amari DeMarcado. So only 29% rostered, definitely on your waiver wire. Connor exited the game, we talked about it briefly, with a knee injury. And DeMarcado stepped up, guys. He came in, got 10 carries for 45 yards and a touchdown. 3 targets, only 1 reception for 12 yards, but decent game, guys, for DeMarcado. Then reports are that Connor is going to miss some time. Then you have Keontae Ingram, like we said, dealing with the neck injury. And they also, guys, worth noting, they claimed Tony Jones Jr. off of waivers today. So to me, them bringing him in, I'm wondering if that's going to maybe telling us that Keontae Ingram may not be ready to go this week. So Amari DeMarcado, guys, may have some good opportunity in that Cardinals offense heading into week 6. Then, guys, you have Keyshawn Vaughn, ugly name, right, that we've had in Dynasty for a while. But he's really the next man up, guys. He's the RB2 for that Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. He's worked his way back up. He was in the 4th string. He had lost the job. Now he's worked his way back up. Or you could say Sean Tucker just lost the job. But Sean Tucker, 15 attempts, 23 yards in his first 3 games. Definitely not good. And now you have Keyshawn Vaughn in week 4, got 9 attempts, only got 16 yards, guys. So it wasn't good, but looks like he may be the next man up in that Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense for now. So if something were to happen to Rachaad White, right, Keyshawn Vaughn may step into some increase in opportunity and workload. So now the next guy, guys, we have Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason's shown us some flashes too, right? He does pretty good when he gets opportunity. And, well, really anybody in that Niners offense, right? But Mitchell has been in and out of the lineup, guys, with the knee issue. Mason's pretty much that next man up, the handcuff. He got 10 carries, guys, this week against Dallas. He went for 69 yards and a touchdown. So pretty much just a good handcuff right now in a great offense. And you can get yourself Jordan Mason, only 32% rostered. Then we have Chris Brooks, guys, out of Miami. Pretty much just a deeper flyer, but he's only 15% rostered. He beat out Salvin Ahmed already for the RB3 spot. right now. And if you listen to reports, guys, you need to basically be tuned into what's going on with Jeff Wilson. He's set. He could return off of IR, but we'll see. If he doesn't return off IR, Achan is also banged up with a knee injury. So keep an eye out, right, and an ear out for the reports. But Chris Brooks is someone that you could stash that he could have opportunity as soon as this week off of your waiver wire. Only 15% rostered. And he showed some flashes, guys, in preseason. He had some good plays in preseason. So someone that you could stash away. Now for the wide receiver guys position, Westbrook Akine, 44% rostered, guys. He flat out stunk this week, guys. But he had a good week this in NFL week 4. He got 16 fantasy points. He went 5 for 51. Hopkins did run a little bit more routes this week, right there, kind of easing in Hopkins a little bit. But Westbrook Akine, guys, someone that's just out there getting opportunity for that Titans offense. And we'll see if Burks is back or not. Burks has been dealing with the knee issue. And then another guy in that Titans offense, guys, you have Kyle Phillips. If you want to take a flyer, he's already showed some flashes. He just came off of IR. He played minimum snaps, guys. Worth noting, he only played 14 snaps. Chris Moore actually ran more routes than him with 23. But Kyle Phillips got the only target there. Chris Moore did not get a target. So we'll see. He may increase his opportunity on that route, the routes run as he gets more healthier, right? They kind of ease him in this week. I would anticipate his snap share increasing, especially if Burks is out again. So Kyle Phillips, just a name to kind of keep an eye out on. And then as far as the Tampa Bay receivers, guys, we have two names for you. They are Raheem Jarrett, who was kind of the favorite in preseason. A lot of people liked Raheem Jarrett, right? But you have Mike Evans dealing with a hamstring injury. But the name to monitor, guys, is Devin Tompkins, right? I liked Raheem Jarrett coming into this season as a little sleeper, deep dynasty stash. But right now, guys, Devin Tompkins, guys, ran a lot more routes than him. Devin Tompkins pretty much was third in snaps after Mike Evans left. And he ran 24 routes to Raheem Jarrett's 2 routes, guys. And then he got 4 targets. Raheem Jarrett only got 1 target, which is actually pretty good. 1 target out of 2 routes run. But 24 routes definitely looks like Devin Tompkins has more opportunity. Devin Tompkins also went 4 for 45. So he caught all of his targets, got you 45 yards and a TD in week 4. So someone that you can stash definitely on your waiver wire and see what happens, or just keep an eye on the Evans news. If Evans is said to miss a couple weeks, you can get Devin Tompkins off your waiver wire. Then Khalif Raymond, guys, is probably my favorite ad right now, depending on what's going on with St. Brown. But the Lions offense has looked pretty good, man. Jared Goff has done good. So he ran the most routes this game with 18. Then he got 3 targets, 3 receptions, caught all 3 of his targets for 45 yards. So Khalif Raymond, definitely someone that you could add off your waiver wire, 42% rostered. Deeper name, guys, you have Darius Davis, super deep name from the cheap seats. Pretty much he got some work in week 4. And they gave him some work on the ground. I don't know if that'll happen with Eckler back, if Eckler comes back, but he went 3 for 51 on the ground, man. So someone that he only ran a few routes, but just kind of a name to monitor if maybe something were to happen, I think, to Keenan Allen. He's got some speed. So Darius Davis, just a name maybe to monitor for now on the waiver wire if something were to happen to Keenan Allen, or maybe just monitor his snaps. Maybe they use him a little more in the passing game, or we'll see if Eckler returns, but just a name to monitor for now, as well as Andre Yosevas. We talked about him last week, but just a pretty much an athlete in the Cincinnati Bengals offense, 4'4" rookie, 4'4" speed, 6'3", 205, 39-inch vert out of Princeton. So just a fun name, super deep stash, or a name to monitor if his routes were to increase and his opportunity were to increase. Just a fun little name. You have Tyler Boyd as well as Higgins that could possibly be on the move next year. So a name to definitely keep an eye out on and see if he starts getting increased in snaps, getting some more targets. I think he only had 2 targets this past week, but he didn't run too many routes. So just a name to monitor. Then at the QB tight end position, guys, you have Zappi and Corral. Bailey Zappi, 30% rostered. Matt Corral, 16% rostered. I believe he's on the Patriots practice squad, guys. So I know he was a couple weeks ago. It's just a name to monitor, guys, because Mac Jones has just been not looking good the past couple weeks. Zappi has replaced him this past 2 weeks. So people that you can have add, right, Zappi for deeper leagues, super flex leagues. If you want to stash a QB, see if they come in, they get some opportunity or take over the position. You might be able to flip them for a pick if they do decent. Then you have Tyrod Taylor, guys. The New York Giants have not looked good. But Tyrod Taylor, he did decent in the fourth quarter. He came in, he got about 80 something yards passing, got 14 on the ground. But someone, guys, that you should be adding off your waiver wire because Daniel Jones is banged up, has a neck issue. We'll see if he comes back. But if he misses a couple weeks, Tyrod Taylor, someone that you could have for these upcoming bye weeks, someone that you can stash in your super flex spot that can help you out maybe for a couple of these spot weeks. Then, guys, my number one ad for the QB position, 40% rostered, is Gardner Minshew. The Minshew mania is back, guys. We have Anthony Richardson dealing with a grade 3 shoulder sprain. Gonna miss multiple weeks, is what the reports are saying. So Gardner Minshew right now, he's got some good weapons. He's gonna have JT back. So I think he's someone that you could definitely add and use in your superflex spot that can help you out for these bye weeks. He's always throws for a good amount of yards. So someone just a fun little ad right now that can help you maybe for these upcoming bye weeks. Then the last stash we have, guys, pretty much just a guy. I think it was a name to monitor maybe for the next 2 weeks, but Taylor Heineke. Desmond Ridder did good this past week in at home. Next week he plays Commanders, but then after that he has 2 tough matchups, guys. So keep an eye on Taylor Heineke on your Dynasty waiver wire. If Ridder continues to struggle or starts struggling again, after that, definitely add you some Gardner Minshew. So that is all we have for you guys today. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you like the show and like the channel, be sure to like and subscribe and check out some of our other videos. And good luck this week on the waiver wire.